As you seen in my description, I'm here back at Sunset Cemetery here in Monroe, North Carolina. Thought I'd walk around and see what kind of old graves that we can find. So come along with me today. Grab a chair, sit back, and enjoy. And here's a 1890 and 1966 Glennie W. Gills. That's what it says right there on the headstone. And here's Annie Stewart Marsh, 1878 and 1956. Says lifelong teacher. William Marsh, 1871 and 1976. This pioneer farmer. We need our farmers and our teachers. Here's a 1856 to 1946. Preston Brooks Blaney. And here's Annie Helms Blaney, 1876 to 1955. Here's 1887 to 1936, Jeannie Sims McGirt. And her husband, Robert McGirt, 1886 to 1950. And here's Jeannie Shannon, 1879 to 1961. And Charles Shannon, 1868 to 1943. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is Pearl Hood English. That's what it says. 1876 to 1957. And here's Patrick Michael Dooley, 1873 to 1942. And Wentz Walden Dooley, 1881 to 1973. Now this is a pretty big crypt right here. But it's Henry Maxwell Eubanks, 1876 to 1944. And Lola Doster Eubanks, 1883 to 1952. But like I said, this thing is huge. And here's Henry Doster, 1890 to 1957. And Rose Doster, 1896 to 1986. And here's William M. Gibson, 1895 to 1942. And Mary Fowler Gibson, 1903 to 1993. And here's William Fowler, 1885 to 1968. Oh, and here's John Trull, 1895 to 1943. And Jane Virginia Belt, 1875 to 1969. Washington L. Belk, 1871 to 1954. And here's Ida McFadden, 1894 to 1954. Melvin McFadden, 1890 to 1942. I like how they put this right here. They headstones, little small headstones here, but it shows the that's the other headstone. Here's 1893 to 1974. That's the year I was born. James Franklin Hart. And Jeannie Nougat Hart, 1892 to 1958. And I don't know what that, I think that's Woodman of the World. I think that emblem is. And here's 1873, Annie Miller Barnes to 1959. And it's her husband. 1873 to 1940. William Barnes. And his leech, Aaron Foster, 1874 to 1959. And John David Foster, 1874 to 1948. And here's Minnie D. Foster, 1896 to 1977. And I got one right here, right beside of it, like this. Daisy Worley Helms, 1895 to 1984. Robert Helms, 1894 to 1977. John Warren Helms, 1893 to 1975. Mary Potter Helms, 1896 to 1972. And that's all the oldest ones right here.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
Grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed.
And here's Wilfred Blaney, 1865 to 1942. And Virginia Cole Blaney, 1879 to 1971. And here's another one over here. It's pretty old. 1877. Carlisle Crosslands, 1877 to 1948. And here's Robert Helms, 1862 to 1942. Or 63, I'm sorry. And here's Cornelia Helms, 1871 to 1961. And here's Faye Helms, 1897 to 1965. And I seen this one right here too. Virginia Lingle, 1896 to 1980. And Jacob Ray Lingle, 1896 to 1984. And here's Martha Lingle, 1862 to 1941. Jacob Lingle, 1857 to 1946. I forgot to say this before I walk away. That's the oldest one I found out here so far, 1857. Here's Eugene Every Hall, the son of Dennis and Oliver Hall, 1888 to 1967. Sarah Hampton Welch, 1884 to 1952. Alice Elliott Welch, 1882 to 1953. Vernon Clyde Austin, 1879 to 1953. Here's Daniel Wilson Van Ripper, 1890 to 1971. Julia McLeod His wife, 1862 to 1952. And Gilliam Craig, 1893 to 1941. Oh, he was in the military, captain, 20th Regiment. Thank you for your service. And here's Ann Welch, 1896 to 1980. Well, she was a Craig. Ann Miller Craig. It says Gilliam's wife. This is his wife. It's Walter Henderson, 1880 to 1951. Bertha Henderson, 1884 to 1968. And Roberta Pearson English, 1891 to 1977. John Rowland English, 1892 to 1962. Here's Jesse Milken, 1888 to 1957. And this is his wife, Juanita Alexandra Milken, 1898 to 1940. Here's Lloyd Alexandra, 1889 to 1951. Ida Alexandra, this is his wife, 1861 to 1939. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mark Alexandra's wife. I'm sorry. This is Mark Alexander, 1857 to 1939. DeWitt Alexandra, 1894 to 1957. And Estelle Conway Sin, 1897 to 1983. And Catherine Jackson, 1872 to 1943. Mangus Conway, MD, he was a doctor, 1868 to 1939. This guy right here was Major William Horace Williams, 1895 to 1945. He was a veteran of both World War I and World War II. Thank you for your service. Here's a Kate Funderburk, 1891 to 1988. Lee Medlin, 1897 to 1958. Here's a Bertha SunCrest, wife of Charles Hampton, 1880 to 1938. And here's Charles Hampton, 1880 to 1945. And here's Harriet Flo Hart, 1864 to 1956. Samuel Boyd Hart, 1865 to 1938. And here's Emma Wilson Walton, 1889 to 1970. Clark Willis Walton, 1885 to 1938. Here's Martha Cook, 1877 to 1964. H.D. Browning, 1861 to 1939. And I think that's going to do it for this one. I walked around SunCrest, or Sunset. I'm sorry, Sunset. Cemetery. I walked around, found some old graves, some good looking crypts. But like I said, this series is probably going to be maybe five videos. This thing is huge. I only got 2 parts of it. So, I mean, if it's 5 parts, please, please come again. I apologize. I just want to give all the honor to the ones out here. The military, the the oldest ones. So be safe. God bless. And we'll catch you on the next one.